As a Rocket League player, when you hear the words Grand Champ, what comes to your mind? Well, it probably depends. For some people, it's a rank that has long eluded them in their journey up the competitive ladder, while for others, it can be a nostalgic reminder of just how far they have come since reaching this revered rank. Grand Champ isn't just a high rank in Rocket League, it is the benchmark of what a majority of the community considers to be a good player. But I think Grand Champ's glorified state is actually overshadowed by how much work it really takes to achieve this feat and just how good you have to be to get there. So that's what I'll be talking about today. In this video, I will be getting to the bottom of what it truly takes to become Grand Champ and provide a more in-depth analysis on the various Grand Champ ranks you can acquire. So why is Grand Champ even such a coveted rank in the first place? To answer this question, we actually need to go all the way back to the release of the original Rocket League Season 2 in early 2016, when Grand Champ looked like this. This is actually around the time I started playing Ranked Rocket League. The ranked system in Legacy Season 2 was completely revamped from the original season, where, believe it or not, Platinum was the highest rank. That's right, the top rank in the first ever competitive season of Rocket League was Platinum. Anyways, even the Grand Champ logo in Legacy Season 2 looks nothing like it does today. In fact, this Grand Champ logo is now the logo for Champ 3. Although the rank system got another small revamp in Legacy Season 4, Grand Champ was the top rank in Rocket League from February of 2016 to September 2020. That is 4.5 years of being the highest rank you can achieve in the game. It also just so happens that during these 4.5 years, Rocket League saw exponential growth, with a lot of players today starting their journey during this time. And what does every player want to do when they start playing a competitive game? Get the highest rank. And even though in the revamped Season 1, the current ranking system was released and SSL became the top rank in Rocket League, a lot of the players still resonated with the fact that all they wanted to get was Grand Champ because it was the apex of the game for so long. Nowadays, the narrative has shifted slightly, but with SSL being so hard to reach, it kind of just makes sense that Grand Champ is still the main goal for most players. Now that we know the background behind this rank, let's talk about why Grand Champ is an outrageous benchmark for being a good Rocket League player. Let's say you're in the top 10% of all Rocket League players. That means if I lined up 10 Rocket League players in a room, you would most likely be the best one. Isn't that a good player? Well, the truth is, someone who is in the top 10% of Rocket League players is about Champ 1 Div 3 in doubles. That's it. In fact, you would have to be in the top 1.5% of all Rocket League players just to be Grand Champ 1. That means if you put 67 Rocket League players in a room, only one of them will be Grand Champ or higher. Now, it is worth noting that from a more historic standpoint, the top 2.5 to 3% of players were Grand Champ in doubles, but still, using our example from earlier, that is about 1 in 33 players being Grand Champ 1 or higher. So now, understanding this information, it can be easier to see why the standard for good in Rocket League is just a little bit outrageous. Not saying it has to change, especially considering the skill ceiling in this game, but it is definitely something to think about. So now we have a basic understanding of what percentage of players are even in Grand Champ to begin with. So let's talk about how to get there in terms of playing time. Based on data I collected via my own survey I posted in my community Discord, which will be linked in the description, and various videos such as Wayton's How Long Does It Take to Reach Every Rank in Rocket League video, which will also be linked in the description, it can be determined that on average it takes around 2,000 hours to reach Grand Champ. Does that mean if you take less than 2,000 hours to reach Grand Champ, you should tell everyone how much better you are? No, because it doesn't matter. But how many games does 2,000 hours even equate to? Well, let's start by assuming that out of these 2,000 hours, at least 25% of this time is spent training or queuing for games, as free play and custom training packs are vital for basic skill development. This leaves you with about 1,500 hours of actual playtime for matches. Assuming matches take on average about 7 minutes when accounting for replays, goals, overtime, and forfeits, the average person will play about 12,850 games before reaching Grand Champ. Again, these numbers are averages and will not be applicable to every person, but in general, if you want to get to Grand Champ, these are the kind of numbers you'll have to put up. What is the fastest way to get a Grand Champ title? Let's say you don't care what you get the Grand Champ title in, as long as it's red and it glows. Well, here are your options. You have duels, doubles, standard, tournaments, rumble, hoops, drop shot, and snow day. And the main thing to understand about all of these game modes is that they all have slightly different ranking distributions, making some game modes easier to get Grand Champ in than others. That's because for some reason Rocket League thought it would be a good idea to not only make all of the MMR requirements for Grand Champ different in each game mode, they also decided to have the Grand Champ MMR threshold constantly change throughout the season. Great! Seriously though, I don't even want to get into the math behind that, but you just have to believe me on that one. So which game mode has the highest percentage of people in Grand Champ? Well, it's actually tournaments. Now granted, you have to win 3 Grand Champ tournaments in one season to get the red title, but it is in theory the most likely game mode to get Grand Champ in. The exact percentage of people Grand Champ or higher in tournaments? About 1.6%, which really isn't a lot of people. But let's say you're a Rocket League purist, and you only care about the traditional Grand Champ title. Well, you're in luck, because doubles is the next highest percentage of Grand Champ players at about 1.5%. The difference between tournaments and doubles is honestly so low that doubles is likely the easiest Grand Champ title to get, while tournaments is the easiest Grand Champ rank to get. Now let's flip the script. Say you want a challenge and want to get the hardest Grand Champ title in the game. A lot of you would probably think the hardest game mode to get Grand Champ in is 1v1s, but it is actually Snow Day by quite a lot. Around 0.42% of 1v1 players are Grand Champ or higher, while only 0.23% of Snow Day players are Grand Champ or higher. That means there are almost twice as many 1v1 Grand Champs than there are Snow Day Grand Champs, which is probably for the better because Snow Day is the most ridiculous ranked mode to ever exist. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching, and as always, until next time.